ASEAN is a huge market in and of itself, and the linkages between the ASEAN economies are growing. We've got the ASEAN economic community, of course, developing, and I think the more those linkages are there, the more that actually stands to insulate the region against some of the concerns that you rightly point out with regards to the South China Sea. So I would be hopeful that as much as we might see something of a short-term hit, that integration and perhaps the diversification of the export base beyond just China, the recovery of the Western economies can help to drive growth again in the region next year and beyond.
And according to your report, foreign direct investments into Southeast Asia surpassed China's last year. What does this mean, and how positive is this for the region?
Well, I think it's a good news story for Southeast Asia, and I think it's driven, again, by some of the fundamentals. The fact that we've got a growing working age population in Southeast Asia, growing well-educated populations. There is, in the ICAEW Economic Insight Report, we do point out that there are still challenges, we think, in the higher education sector. But a lot of the basic education standards are pretty strong, and even some of the top-performing economies in the region match up closely to the US on the levels of basic schooling. So, you know, there is an extent to which it's very attractive to foreign investors, and actually perhaps more so than China, given that the demographics in China are now really working against them. They're swimming against the tide, effectively, because the working age population, of course, is starting to shrink. And it's an ageing population in China. Of course, there's still a big growth story there. Consumption's gradually shifting from investment to consumption. But we are seeing growth slow in China, and we are seeing some worries about the size of the shadow banking sector and some of the challenges in the financial sector more generally.